ever feel like uh you're stuck?
Stuck.
Yeah, like in a rut. Like
Uh-huh.
you're following a script you didn't even write. Almost
Right.
like you're an actor but in someone else's play.
I can see that.
Well, what if I told you that you could actually rewrite the script?
Okay.
That you could basically become the director of your own life.
No, that would be interesting.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today, this whole mind-bending world of
Reality transurfing.
reality transurfing. Yeah,
It really challenges how we think about achieving our goals.
it does.
Instead of all that striving and struggling,
Right.
reality transurfing says we can choose the reality we want
We can choose.
from a huge space of variation.
Space of variations.
Yeah, think of it like browsing through some cosmic catalog
Oh, okay.
of all these potential lives and picking the one that really speaks to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're going to explore all of this using Vadim Zeland's book, Reality Transurfing Volume 2, The Rustling of the Morning Stars. And get this, Zeland uses dreams as a gateway to understanding how reality actually works.
He does. Dreams, we all have them, right?
Yeah, we do.
And he says they aren't just random nighttime illusions,
Right.
but glimpses into this space of variations.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, where every single possibility already exists. It's like our minds, while we sleep, are dipping their toes into different realities.
Wow, I like that, dipping their toes.
Yeah.
And he uses this really interesting analogy. He
Okay.
talks about a kitten looking in the mirror.
Uh-huh.
You know how their reaction can change like that?
Yeah.
1 minute they're playful, the next they're all hisses and claws.
That's cats for you.
Right. And Zillan uses that to illustrate how our thoughts, even in dreams, can dynamically shape the reality we experience.
You know, it's a great way to visualize how our perception really creates our reality.
It is.
And this brings us to lucid dreaming.
Okay.
Have you ever had a lucid dream?
I think so.
It's where you realize in the dream that you're dreaming.
Oh, yeah.
And you can actually control what happens. Zeland suggests that this, lucid dreaming, is like a training ground
Training ground.
for conscious reality creation. Like it's showing us we have more power than we think.
Oh, that's fascinating. So if we can control our dreams, why not our waking life too, right?
Right. And that's where Zeland's concepts of internal and external intention come in.
Most of us, we operate with internal intention.
Internal and
Trying to force things to happen, just using effort and willpower.
Hmm.
And it often leads to struggle and frustration because we're basically fighting against the natural flow of the universe.
Yeah.
But external intention, on the other hand,
External intention.
that's about aligning with the flow,
Okay.
allowing things to just come to us effortlessly.
That sounds amazing. Almost too good to be true.
Well, Zealand says we actually use external intention all the time, just often unintentionally.
Unintentionally. And here's the catch.
Yeah.
We often use it to manifest our fears. Like we get so caught up in worrying about something bad happening that we accidentally attract it.
I can see that.
So that's why it's so important to be aware of our thoughts and beliefs.
I can see that.
Zeland introduces this idea of slides,
Slides.
mental filters we create, and they distort how we see things and shape our reality.
Interesting.
Like he uses this example, it's super relatable, of someone who feels unattractive.
Okay.
That belief, it changes how they act,
Yeah.
making them seem less confident, less approachable,
Right.
which actually can make them seem less attractive to others. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
So the takeaway here, we can change our reality by changing our slides.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on what we see as flaws, reality transurfing says to focus on our strengths
Oh, okay.
and create positive slides
Positive slide.
that match our desired reality.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So instead of dwelling on feeling unattractive,
Right.
we could create a slide about our intelligence or kindness or even our sense of humor.
Right.
We can choose to see ourselves in a better light. And that shift in how we see things can change our whole reality.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's where the real magic of reality transurfing comes in.
The real magic.
It's not just about changing our thoughts.
Oh, okay.
It's about aligning our minds with what our soul wants.
Now that's interesting.
It is.
This whole idea of the soul.
Yeah.
I've always been curious about that.
Mm.
What does Zeland actually say about it?
Well, he believes our soul, it has access to this incredible knowledge
Right.
and potential. Like it's connected to that vast space of variations we talked about,
Oh, right.
that field of pure possibility.
Yeah.
But to tap into that power,
Okay.
we need to listen to our soul,
Listen to it.
to its whispers,
Okay.
and trust its wisdom.
So it's not just about, like, setting goals with our minds.
No, it's more than that.
We have to connect with our soul's desires, too.
Exactly.
It's got to be both.
Like finding that perfect harmony
Okay.
between what your heart wants and what your mind is set on.
Gotcha.
Just imagine what you could achieve if you really tapped into your soul's wisdom.
Really is amazing when you think about it.
It is.
So how do we actually do that?
How we do what?
Put this into practice.
Ah,
Okay, does Zeland give us any techniques for connecting with our soul and aligning with it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And one of the most powerful is his approach to visualization.
Visualization.
Yeah, most people, they visualize the end result of their goals.
Right, like seeing yourself holding that trophy.
Exactly, or standing on a stage.
Yeah.
But Zeland says, visualize the process
The process.
of achieving those goals.
I've never thought of it that way.
It's different, right?
Yeah, can you give me an example?
Sure, let's say you want to write a novel.
Okay.
Instead of picturing yourself with that published book, imagine yourself sitting down to write every single day,
Okay.
feeling those words flow effortlessly from your fingertips.
Wow, I like that.
Visualize overcoming writer's block.
Yeah.
The joy of making each chapter,
Mm-hmm.
the excitement of sharing your story with everyone.
It's about experiencing the journey,
Yes.
not just like focusing on the destination.
It makes sense, right?
It does. I can see how focusing on the process would make it more enjoyable
Yeah,
and less daunting.
for sure.
But what about all the obstacles?
Obstacle.
The things we face along the way?
Huh.
Life is full of challenges.
It is.
How does reality transurfing help us with those?
Well, Zeland has this idea of pendulums.
Pendulums.
He describes them as energy structures that feed off of negative emotions.
Okay.
And they try to keep us trapped
Trap.
in these cycles of struggle,
Oh,
like invisible forces
Mm-hmm.
pulling us off track
Okay,
and
fair.
draining our energy.
So how do we like avoid those pendulums?
Well, first, you have to recognize them.
Okay.
Can you give me an example
Sure.
so I can see if it's happening to me?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Think about the fashion industry.
Okay.
It's constantly pushing new trends, right?
Yeah.
Making us feel like we need to buy the latest clothes.
To fit in.
Yes, to be accepted.
Yeah.
It uses our insecurities
Mm-hmm.
and our desire to be liked.
Yeah.
That's a classic pendulum at work.
Wow.
It thrives on us being dissatisfied,
So true.
isn't it?
I totally fall for that sometimes.
I think we all do.
So how do we stop feeding these pendulums with our energy?
Well, the first step is awareness,
Awareness.
recognizing when it's trying to hook us
Okay.
with its negative energy.
Gotcha.
And once we're aware,
Yeah.
we can choose not to engage.
Choose not to engage.
We don't have to react to every trend or buy into all the fear-mongering headlines.
Right.
We can choose to focus on what uplifts us.
What empowers us?
Exactly.
It's about taking back our power.
Yes. It's about recognizing that we have a choice.
And that feels really liberating.
It does, doesn't it?
But is there anything we can do
To what?
to create a reality that's more aligned
Aligned with
with our soul?
our soul's desires.
Yes.
You mean proactively?
Yeah.
Well, Zeland believes tapping into our frail is key.
Okay, this is the second time you said frail.
It's important.
What is it exactly?
Frail is your essence.
My essence.
It's that source of joy, that creative energy,
Oh, okay.
the spark that makes you you.
Interesting.
It's what makes your soul sing.
Okay.
When you're living in alignment with your frail, you just radiate this magnetism,
Magnetism.
not physical beauty.
Oh, okay.
It's an inner harmony
I see.
that draws people to you.
It's like those people who have that unexplainable charisma.
Exactly.
You can just tell they're living authentically.
They're in tune with their frail.
But how do we find ours?
Find what?
Our frail.
Ah, right.
It feels like it could get lost under all the demands of life.
It takes introspection
Introspection.
and quiet reflection.
Okay.
You have to pay attention
Pay attention.
to those moments of pure joy, the activities that make you feel truly alive.
Gotcha.
Ask yourself, what would you do if no one was watching?
Good question.
What makes you lose track of time?
That's a good one.
Those are clues.
To our frail.
Yes, to your frail.
That makes sense, but sometimes it's hard to hear those whispers
I know what you mean.
with all the distractions.
It is.
Does Zeland give us any advice on how to strengthen that connection?
He does.
Okay.
One of the most beautiful ideas he talks about is the guardian angel.
Oh, I love that idea.
It is a beautiful concept
It's comforting.
to think there's a force watching over us.
Yeah, like a benevolent force.
Right. You can take it literally or metaphorically.
Okay.
But the idea is There's this wise and loving presence.
Inside us.
Maybe.
Or around us.
Possibly.
That's always guiding us.
And protecting us.
So even when we feel lost, we're not truly alone.
Wow.
And Zeland says one of the best ways to connect with our guardian angel is through gratitude.
Gratitude.
Instead of focusing on what we lack.
We can appreciate what we have.
Yeah, and be thankful for our blessings.
He even shares this touching story.
Ooh, I love story.
Do you?
Tell me.
It's about a man who noticed something.
What did he notice?
During the hardest times in his life.
Okay.
He only saw one set of footprints in the sand.
One set.
When he asked God why.
Why what?
Why he felt abandoned.
Oh, okay.
God said, during those times, my son, it was I who was carrying you.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is.
It reminds me of all the times I struggled and felt alone.
But you weren't. I wasn't.
You were being supported.
I was. It's a good reminder.
It is.
To shift our focus.
From what?
From fear.
And to love and abundance.
Exactly.
And when we do that.
When we do what?
Cultivate gratitude.
We open ourselves up to receiving more blessings.
And more support.
It's not about denying the challenges.
Right.
It's about choosing to focus on the good.
Even in the tough times.
Exactly. Trusting that the universe has our back.
This is making me realize that reality transurfing is about so much more than just goals.
I agree.
It's about living a life.
Of what?
Of purpose, joy, and that deep connection.
Connection to what?
To ourselves and the universe.
You're getting it.
I think I am.
It's about waking up to the magic of life.
I am so inspired.
Good.
This conversation is making me want to go back and reread Zeland's book.
You should.
It's like I'm just scratching the surface.
There's always more to discover.
Yeah.
It's a lifelong journey of self-discovery and transformation.
This whole idea of pendulums and frail, it makes me think about goals.
Goals.
Yeah, if we're not supposed to chase after mirages, how do we even find the goals that are right for us? The ones that, match our soul's purpose?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is, and Zeland talks about finding the right door.
He does.
What does he mean by that?
It's like a metaphor.
For what?
For finding your path.
Oh, okay.
The one that leads to a fulfilling life.
Okay, a fulfilling life.
Yeah, one filled with joy.
He says we often get distracted by doors that look good.
From the outside.
Yeah.
But they lead nowhere.
Like dead ends.
Exactly. They might be goals society tells us to want.
Like what?
Wealth, status, recognition.
Okay.
But they might not actually be what we truly want.
So how do we know if we're knocking on the wrong door?
Zeland says to pay attention.
To what?
How you feel.
Okay. My emotions.
If you feel resistance, doubt, or like you're forcing it, it might be a sign you're on the wrong path.
My soul knows what it wants.
It does. It'll send you signals.
It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Exactly. It just doesn't feel right.
What if we've already spent a bunch of time on a goal?
Yeah.
And then realize it's not the right one.
Happens all the time.
Can we bring it back to life?
Bring what back to life?
The goal, or is it better to just move on?
Well, Zeland says sometimes we start things that don't work out, but it's never too late to change course.
So we can try to revive it.
We can by reconnecting with why we started.
Oh, okay.
Finding new meaning in it.
So bring back that soul energy.
Yes. And if that doesn't work.
What doesn't work?
If you can't find the passion again.
Okay.
Then Zeland says, have the courage to let go.
Just let it go.
Trust that something better is coming.
It's empowering to know we're not stuck.
We're not.
With our past choices.
We can always choose again.
We really can create a new reality.
That's the beauty of it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into reality transurfing, what's the one thing you want our listener to take away?
I want them to remember that they are the architect.
The architect.
Of their own reality.
Okay.
You have the power.
To do what?
To choose your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions.
That's all up to us.
It is. You shape your own destiny.
No.
Don't let the world dictate your path.
Right.
Listen to your soul. Trust your gut. Have the courage to create the life you want.
Beautifully said. And if you could leave our listener with just one question.
One question.
What would it be?
What if you could rewrite the script of your life? Where would you begin?
That is a powerful question, and one I think we should all ask ourselves.
I agree.
So to our listener out there,
yes,
take some time to think about that.
Think about what?
What script are you living right now?
It's a good one.
Did you choose it?
Or did someone give it to you?
And if you could change it,
rewrite it.
What would your new story be?
I like that.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into reality transurfing.
It's been a pleasure
We hope it sparks some new ideas
and inspiration.
to explore all those infinite possibilities within you.
We'll see you next time.